Well. We're back at it again with a brand new episode of the Tituch Podcast. And of course, as always, you got your two favorite co-hosts in the whole entire motherfucking world and galaxy and universe and far, far beyond. Eduardo. And of course, my boy here, Rocky Dan. He's super swagged out. I unfortunately couldn't find my fucking pit vibes. As you can see, I'm fucking rocking naked. So I threw on the hat just to dice it with a little bit of more. Spice it up. My boy here, he's fucking swagged out. Yeah, brother. But dude, I definitely missed you. I'm sure the lovely people that listen to us and watch us missed you. And it feels like we've hopped back on the saddle and we're back at it again here in the virtual studio. But I mean, dude, we have so much ground to cover. But before all that, I just want to ask you, as always, how we started this episode or any episode. How are you doing today, brother?
Doing good, brother.
Doing good?
A little bit of, back in the studio. I haven't set up the studio back because we were in travel mode for a while. And so, still tinkering with the studio setup a little bit. But, aside from that, man, back in Washington doing my thing. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like
watching the world fall apart, every text, every phone, every story that's posted. So, it's just like, we're just waiting.
Oh man, I mean, that's definitely one subject we definitely want to dive in on this one because I've said off air that it's been pretty chaotic. But one thing I do want to talk about right off rip is this fucking gloomy and depressing of weather that we're having in Washington State. I swear we only got glimpses of sun here and there, but to think that we're already in June and we're already in summer, it's fucking raining like none other. I'm pretty tired of it. I think I'm at that point too where it never really bothered me right before, but now as it's every day gloomy, just raining.
Yeah.
Thunder here and there or lightning, whatever you want to call it. It's fucking depressing and I'm tired of it. I just want the friggin' beams to hit me, and get hot. But then it's funny because like when the sun does come out and it gets friggin' warm, then I kind of regret it. So it's kind of like vice versa. But I do want the sun though, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, I've always been like a northern guy. I always, growing up in Montana, it was like snow 9 months out of the year. And, I just got used to it. And, so the sunshine that we did get during the summer was like only during the summer. So you'd get all the camping out of the way, get all the outdoor hikes, whatever you want to do out of the way. Because we knew that we were just headed for 9 months of just gloom, just gray clouds, snow, just shitty weather. I came out here and it was a breath of fresh air, because I know it's been pretty gloomy as of late, but man, for the most part, it's pretty moderate area. It doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold, and we have enough indoor activities here that, you can kind of get away from the rain and kind of forget about the pain of the rain that follows. You forget about the depression.
Oh, dude, I know, right? It's kind of like you kind of fall into depression mode, but it kind of like reels you back out just in time. But lately, it's been depressing of wet fucking weather for me. I'm just over it. I'm tired of it. But that's one thing I wanted to get off
vitamin
rip.
D supplements by
chance? I don't.
You should.
I should, huh? I should.
Yeah,
at this
you should.
point.
I take them every day, and it's just like, it's almost like I don't even need the sun to thrive. Like you told me it was rainy, and I didn't even know.
Shit!
Take so much vitamin D. I'm just like, man, it feels like it's sunny out there right now.
Okay. I'll have to fucking look into that. I'll definitely have to fucking maybe start taking some multis or something. You know what I'm saying? But
what a lot of doctors recommend, not just the melanin. What do you call it? Deprived folks, but especially the more melanin you have, that doctors recommend. Especially for people up in this area where there's a lack of sun, they tell their patients, get on that vitamin D train, bro.
I have to. No, I'm looking into it. I'm gonna take your word for it, bro. But yes, man. I mean, overall, moral of the story: weather sucks, and we're just ready for some sun. But of course, man, like we were talking a little bit earlier that, or a couple minutes ago, I should say, not earlier. I'm stupid. But what I'm saying is that there's been so much chaos brewing here in the U.S. Just in the,
Almost
it's kind of like it's kind of like there's a glitch in the matrix. Like someone said it perfectly earlier. I was reading this little, I go on the interwebs, I go on Twitter, and I read that this is like, first of all, the big focus was Ukraine, right? Obviously, they're still fighting the long battle over there, so definitely, they're doing what they got to do over there. But then it's like that kind of slowly started fading away when everything started happening. Which, of course, one of the major things that we're referring to is obviously the school mass shooting that just happened recently, which is so fucking tragic. It's sad when this type of shit happens. Of course, especially when it has to do with children. But the one thing that I definitely wanted to come here and talk about, because I'm not really as informed of it. Like I hear little bits and snippets of it. Because it's just like thinking about that stuff, I don't really like to put my main focus on that. Also, too, because I got other stuff I'm worrying about in my life, so just little things here and there. But I mean, I want to talk to you because, like I call you, you're my walking Google. So there's a lot of things that unfolded in the midst of that, in realms of what happened, like that day, like how everything transpired, right? I guess law enforcement, they're saying one thing, then they're changing the story to say another, but obviously let's lay down, I guess I could say a somewhat timeline of how it happened and just kind of what occurred. But unfortunately, it was 19 children involving two teachers.
Yeah, 2 teachers, 19 children.
So we definitely just want to say condolences to the families who lost loved ones, their children. I mean, just it's horrible. It's bottom line, it's fucking tragic. It hit me. Obviously, I'm sure it hit my boy here and just everybody all over the world that heard of this. And this is one of those things too, where like with the podcast, we try to shine light more on the humor side of things. But when something like this happens at this magnitude, it just only feels
humor.
Yeah, there's no humor at it, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely wanted to talk about this just because of the of some of the, I want to say interesting, but some of the like, what really happened or what went down to put an end to this, or how could we approach this to where maybe we wouldn't have lost any lives? You know what I'm saying? So, so break it down for me, Brett. So from what we know, it was I don't even know the gentleman's name. I don't even want to say the gentleman's name that did it, but it was one individual that went into the school, and from the sounds of it, he just briefly walked in there or on campus and just started doing what he did. And well, break it down for me. I guess fill me in.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the timeline, because that's something that is going to be the center of focus with the. I don't know if they're doing an all-out investigation, but for lack of better words, that's the focus of the investigation, is this timeline. So basically what happens is early, around 11 o'clock a.m., the shooter shoots his grandmother, right?
Okay.
And and then he steals her pickup. Now, 18 years old, poor. The mom is allegedly had a big problem with drugs, so she was out of the picture. She was of shit influence to his life. Yeah. And dad, haven't heard a thing about dad, so dad's gone. So
he's out of the picture.
And apparently he had like a speech impediment of some sort. So there was some bullying that took place, and bunch of stuff. But anyway, so it all adds up, and all of a sudden he just decides. And the other question, I mean, there's more questions than answers right now, so we're just going to go over the timeline. We're just going to lay down what we know, but we're also going to ask some of the questions.
For sure.
Now the question is, he had at least 2 high-powered rifles, what people are calling assault weapons, and we're looking at the cost of each one per unit is anywhere between like $1,700 to $2,200. So where is this 18-year-old getting this kind of money? For one, and so anyway, so that's one question. The other question is why he shot his grandma. We don't know. Nobody knows that. So then the next thing that happened, and I think the first 911 call that took place, he drove his grandma, and this is like real close. Everything is like within a few block radius. So this is not like where he's going clear across town, going here, going there. Everything is very close, which adds to the question again, why it took police so long, why there were so many lives, right? So he first shooting takes place around 11, and then he steals his grandma's truck, crashes that in a ravine, and that's near the old folks home or the funeral home. The funeral home is like almost kitty corner from the school, the elementary school. So two people from the funeral home see this crash take place, and so they're thinking, oh, we got to rescue this guy, see what's going on, whatever. So they come down, and the shooter shoots at them. So that, as far as I know, is the first 911 call that took place. And that was at 11. I don't have the timeline right in front of me. I should have, but it was 11. Let's just say 11:30ish. 11 could have even been 11:15ish, right?
Okay, so in the morning,
then he's going in. Okay. So then all of a sudden, supposedly there was a door that was left open. Apparently, so he makes a run for it. Now his truck's wrecked. Shot grandma in the face. Shot at two funeral home people. Missed them. Runs into the school. So schools are all supposed to be locked. But apparently a teacher said she had to run and get her phone out of her car, whatever, left the door open. And so then that's where he makes his entry and starts firing. So now we're looking at like 11:30ish and maybe 11:40. But he's taking victims right away. There are 911 calls in the school from the students themselves. So initially the chief of the operations here was saying that this was a barricade, right? So they were looking at it from the standpoint of guy just wrecked his truck, shot at two people, and was just looking somewhere to hide. Okay, but that falls flat on its face when they start getting 911 calls from the students themselves that were saying that he was shooting people in the school. That's when police should have been rushing. And so, and they didn't. And it was for like an hour, 40 minutes of people just standing around, police holding back parents that wanted to go in. And it wasn't until a border patrol agent, see, you got to understand, a lot of these police had students, children that were students at the school at this time. So why they didn't go in, I think these are all the questions that have to be answered. We have to be, and we don't know, because training at all across the country, when there's a live shooter in a school, they go right in because they know that the profile of the shooter is they're trying to stack as high as a body count as they can, so before they get killed themselves by the police or kill themselves. So, but their main point is to get as many body counts. Police are trained to go in as quickly as possible, not wait 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, and hold back the parents. And not just hold back the parents. I mean, they were tasering the parents to get in. They were putting them in handcuffs. Here, their children are getting shot up in the school, and then they're getting tasered and handcuffed. This was the police operation I've ever seen in my life. So while a border patrol agent who was at the barber getting his hair cut, his teacher was a wife, said, "Hey, active shooter, love you," in the school, love you. So he actually took the shotgun from his barber's barber shop and ran over, and then that's when they went in, and they got him. They got him, and
man. So there's so much, I feel like this was just poor planned out. Like the plan of action, like when something like this occurs, right? I feel like at this point with everything that's happened before, that every police department just across the U.S. should have a fucking protocol when this type of shit goes down, right?
They did.
They didn't fucking act upon it though, right? Yeah, that's the thing. So, okay, they did. So they had something in place to act upon if something like this were to happen. Yet they didn't. And you know what, man? At this point, they really can't say anything to say like they're sorry for their mishaps, that they didn't do anything to fucking go ahead and prevent any more of these children dying at the hands of this motherfucker. It's crazy, like, to think that parents weren't even being allowed to go save their kids. Dude, I'm just saying, dude, at that point, it's like, any parent would want to fucking try to do something at that point. But it's like,
Yes.
But it shouldn't come down to that point, right? Where like, let the people that are built for this or just trained for this to go in and do something, right? But I did watch one video of this mother that was like handcuffed to the door or something like that, where she couldn't fucking go in. I'm like, dude, this is insane. I don't think we've ever had anything like this to where like, they were trying to intervene, but they couldn't. They couldn't at all. Law enforcement was just, no, you can't go. But they didn't even bother to do anything. It's like, what the fuck,
Yeah, there's one police officer that was there that has spoke out and said basically that it was the police orders to stand down and the police themselves, like there was a mutiny because like half of them were saying, hey, we have to go in, like because when you get an order in the police and in the military, there is an order of operations. There's a hierarchy, and you don't override the person giving you the orders, right? If you're under them. But unless it's something that's illegal or unethical. And so that was the mutiny that was taking place amongst the cops there, is that, like half of them were saying, we've got to go in. We've got to override. Well, then that's when the feds came in, the Border Patrol came in and just said, we are overriding this bullshit call. We are going in. But it wasn't until an hour later. So the chief of police, now apparently he was like not even he was brand new to the job as a chief, but still you don't get that job unless you're qualified. So this would have been a qualification, like when there is an active shooter at a school, what do you do? I'm sure he had to answer, right? And where you go in, right? You don't wait 50 minutes and let children get slaughtered. Children. I mean, we're talking,
man. It's fucking
the
insane.
average age was like 8 to 10 years old. It just brings us back to Sandy Hook, right, in 2012. Where it was, similar scenario where the kid just went in to the kids. I mean, or the shooter, the weirdo shooter just goes in and there's no reason for children. There's no reason. I just think that what it's come down to is that our society is so decayed. It's so toxic. You look at all of these things that our kids are exposed to with the internet and with everything, and everybody's like, doesn't like, especially people that are on the liberal side, they'll say, well, that shouldn't be anything. The problem is with the guns. The guns are the problem. And so then you have the gun people saying, hey, this is our Constitution, and come and get it, right? And then so you have two sides that are just not connecting at all. And I happen to be on the side that says I've looked at the stuff that is allowed, like the mental illness that, I came from a home where there was a mentally ill person raising me. I see what this looks like. It's you as a child have to navigate through this and so I had my wits about me, so I could navigate through all that shit. But I had someone who was trying to get me on medication my whole life. And I every counselor I sat in front of, I would tell them, even at 10 years old, I would say, I don't want medication. Don't give me medication. Okay, but so that was me. And I was able to get through all that, and thank God, right? Thank God I found my path, and I didn't ever have to get on medication because someone who was mentally ill was trying to force medicine down my throat, who had legal guardianship over me. What about the kids that don't get that? That are force-fed all this medicine, and if you look at people who are riddled on medicine and aren't learning how to process issues, situations. I mean, I was bullied too. And for me, my technique was just go right to the bully, and I didn't even care. If it got to the point where I was going to get beat up, I didn't care, but I was going to make that bully beat me up every single day if that's what they were going to do, right? And so I was just going to be hell on them. But a lot of people don't have that courage. A lot of people, and then you go throw the internet in there, and the internet gets all slimy where now they'll, they don't even have to bully you in person. They'll just make a funny meme and put your face on it and, spread it through the school. So kids are going through so much. The parents aren't protecting him.
Yeah.
Doctors are medicating him. Counselors are not even allowed to help him anymore. And they've been handcuffed. Police have been handcuffed. And then they'll still say it's the gun's fault. It's just so.
I think
guns
it's just
have been in this country since the beginning.
It seems like it's
what
like
has changed.
It's
what
like
has changed.
It's like an easy pointing your fingers at like the one thing that stands out, which I think you're right. They're pointing as guns being the issue, but I'm gonna go with you on that long, like, I guess you could say it's like a mixture of things, right? Where I think it really just starts at the kids, like, environment where how they're raised, who's raising them, like what they're going through. And I think I've always just believed, just being like parents, we have such an important role. And I truly believe that, like, as more of this type of stuff happens, I kind of just always think to myself, like, you need that transparency with your kids. But then it's like, if those kids don't even have parents to be transparent with or a support unit, it just crumbles, dude. There's nothing to hold that bridge up. So it's the mixture of things, man. And I honestly do think it has to do a lot with mental illness, a lot of bullying, like you said. It's just a mixture of shit. And then you got to throw in fucking social media in the mix. It adds for a total fucking combustion just waiting to happen. And of course, look what happens, man. I truly believe that's what it is. And of course, you got to add like into the mix as well, where you were talking about how did this 18-year-old get a couple G's to even purchase this, like that money, where did those funds come from? He just can't walk in there with like 2 racks and just purchase these things and just go up about his way, and that's it. So there's definitely little things like that add up to leading it to cause this horrible thing that just he took part of. So it's like, there's obviously a lot of questions to be answered for sure. And it's just, the trippy thing about this all overall is becoming such a fucking norm, where it's like we just blink one way and just look the other, and that's it. It's like RIP, condolences, or this and that. It's like there's really no actions being like taken to do something about this. Like it's always being said, like we talk about this and that, whatever solutions they put out there, but it's like nothing's really being done about it that I know of. I mean, from what I've been seeing. So
it's a lot of bluster. And here's the thing. It always seems really weird that these types of things happen right before an election. It seems like that's when all the craziness comes out, because we've had huge issues facing our country, and our country really it's proving just in every election how divided we are. Abortion. They're talking about overturning Roe versus Wade. Which would make abortion illegal. And, people don't know this, but over in Europe, abortion is illegal. You can't go and have an abortion. And I don't know if it's outright illegal, but like as legal as here, where you can get an abortion just as easy as you can order a Starbucks. That's not like that in Europe. And all Americans are, these liberal Americans are saying, oh yeah, Europe. Well, even Europe doesn't even go that far. They're just like, what's happening here. It's more than just, of course, the worst part is taking the life, right? You're taking the life of someone who could, be a president, do great things, but it's a form of murder in a lot of people's eyes. And so when you have a whole country of people, you have 340, 50 million, however many we have now, and, not everybody's going to agree with being able to, coat hanger a baby if you don't want it, and I mean, it's brutal, right? But that's, it's a brutal description, but that's essentially the punishment that this little thing gets is just, they didn't do anything. They were just like there when 2 parents or two people were irresponsibly having sex. Like, we have condoms, we have birth control, we have like contraceptives that work. You can, if you don't want babies, tie those tubes. There's so many options, right? So, but to be irresponsible and going and I'm going into things that a lot of people are going to disagree with. I'm just saying, I'm just speaking from the perspective of the people that are against it. Is saying, there we have a lot of avenues that you can take. So we have abortion, we have racial division, we have religion, that's either religion or non-religion. And then, so everybody's fighting. And I've said this a million times, is we are going the way of Rome. And what broke Rome apart, what finally split Rome. The fall of Rome took place because they brought so many outsiders in, and they didn't assimilate them to Roman values, Roman beliefs. They just said, hey, come as you are and have at it. Well, all these outsiders and all these different factions started taking sorry, so much carbonation. Started taking hold, and then basically, if you want to know what happened to Rome, just look at America today. This is exactly what happened to Rome in the fall of Rome. So
Insane.
we're just seeing it here. It is happening. It is happening, and I think that it has so much momentum. It's not going to stop. So now it's just time for us to decide, okay, what side are you on? There is going to be some sort of civil conflict. Will it go as far as a civil war? 39% of Democrats say yes. 55% of Republicans say yes. The rest say no. So who knows? Who knows? But the trajectory is definitely aiming toward a civil war. So if that takes place, where do you want to be? Who do you want to be with? What side do you want to be on? And you better start thinking about that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's fuck. I mean, the stars are aligning. I mean, it kind of seems like that when that picture is painted like that, So it's just overall, man, there's a lot of just crazy shit that's going on, man. I try to honestly, it's hard not to really kind of put your focus onto that type of stuff because it's being blurred out so much, But it's insane. It's kind of hard not to really just ignore it, and you really see all this stuff just happening. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. But luckily for everybody watching this and listening to this is why we have the podcast, because obviously in a weird way, we like to just absorb that, talk about it, discuss it. But at the same time, we like to throw our, what we call our TipTouch podcast humor salt onto it to just, get by through these times. Because it is tough times for a lot of people, and especially when shit like this happens, we definitely need to keep on pushing forward and hopefully, that things turn for the best in the future, and that's just kind of having always that hope factor, So,
we don't want to look like a couple of dicks that just ignore it, just it's not a funny topic, so let's just not even talk about it.
Exactly.
So
it's this, no, but it's one of those things too. It's like, we got to skate through this in order to get to the other side of the fucking frozen lake and not fucking just fall in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So no, man.
We're looking at each other like, oh, are we gonna talk about this, Eddie?
Oh no, dude. We gotta hold hands and fucking hopefully we make it all the way across. But yeah, man.
Right.
No, dude. It's insane though. It's insane. It is really crazy. But overall, man, I mean, dude, I feel like there's so much to talk about, but it's like nitpicking some of the things, like what we want to discuss and kind of just do on this episode. But I mean, dude, one thing I actually, out of my curiosity only, maybe for other people wondering as well. I know last time we talked to you, we talked before San Antonio. So do you miss it? That's one question I want to ask first. Do you miss it or not?
We're looking at real estate down there.
Ooh,
I'll tell you that.
Okay, that says a lot. Okay.
We're liking it. We're liking it. Miss it, definitely miss it. That those triple digit temperatures, dude. You know what I loved about it? I loved that everybody was just so happy. Like didn't matter who you ran into. And you saw the same things that you see up here, right? I mean, you saw the homelessness, but just the people, they just had a better outlook. I sat there, I was talking to this one guy for like an hour, and he was at this memorial. My great grandpa, the one I'm named after, he fought in the Korean War, which
really?
the Forgotten War. So
okay.
I see this. So every time I see a Korean War memorial, I'm there to give my thoughts, right? So so I see this old man, and I asked him, hey, did you fight in that? He said, no, I was too young for this. 77 years old. He's too young for that war.
He's too young for that war. Man,
my
you're up there, buddy.
died, in 83. So yeah, I get it. Okay. But we just had a good long talk. He ends up being this like engineer, and he was talking about going all over the world, like Saudi Arabia, and he was just telling me all these little things he was doing, and it was just like I could approach anybody, and everybody just had a story, and it just felt like a community. It really felt like a community. Beautiful area. The weather was a lot less rainy than here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it just looked good. I loved, I could feel like the sun rays of happiness hitting me. And like I know, like when I left, I had this real like I don't know. It could have been the Mercury in retrograde hitting me hard, but I got some hippy dippy in me. That's what I got to understand. Like,
Yeah.
Like I know, I grew up with a couple of liberals in the house, like, bleeding liberal, and that's probably why I steer away, because I saw everything that was so fucked up about them. I'm like, I would not want to model my life even close to that. Like, you guys suck. This is no way to live a life,
Right.
And so I did. I took complete 180 from everything I learned, but I still have that hippie dippy hardwired in me. So like one of them was talking about the ayahuasca, doing all that, Since then, since I got all that sunshine and booze in me,
Yeah, the liquor will do that to you too.
That was too much. It took 3 days to recover from
Getting the shakes and shit, fucking coin cold turkey.
the headache and everything. I was like telling my wife, I'm like, I feel like ass right now. And she's, you know me. She's like, she's the one that has me drinking non-alcoholic beer for a reason. She's like, I don't want that. And then, here I was just like, woo, doing my own thing, like a dog when he gets off the leash. But then when he comes back home, his tail's in between his legs. He knows he's going to take a beating. But
dude, you went against that protocol. Say, fuck it, dude, whatever.
Yeah, but after the beating, man, that dog, he's still laying on his favorite bed, smiling. Like, but that was fun.
Oh, dude, I know you had fun, man. I know you had fun. But that's very interesting, man. I honestly think it, I truly believe when they say, if it feels like home and you miss it like it's home, I think it's like a destined to be, bro. So I mean, if that transition is gonna happen and you're gonna be over there, bro, I mean, it seems like a good fit, because obviously you like the area, the people are awesome, the vibe is just good. It's it's all good stuff, man. I'm really glad to hear that too, because it's kind of tough to find somewhere else, like especially if you've been living in an area for so long. You can only think like you only see one particular place. Like for me, being home, so it's like if you see something else.
By nature, though,
yeah.
Like I remember, like I grew up. I went to kindergarten in Des Moines, Iowa. We lived in Denver, Colorado for a while.
Okay.
Then we moved to Idaho, moved to Montana. Now I'm in Washington, and it could be a potential move to Texas now. And it's just like, I'm sticking to my nomadic roots, and the cool thing is Austin, talk about hippy dippy. Austin is only like an hour away from us in San Antonio. So like, if I want to get some hippy dippy out of me, all I got to do is just make an hour drive.
Go to Austin,
hanging out with my hippie folks.
Oh, dude, how close is? I mean, call me. I fucking the states and all that. How far is it? What states? What direction? How far is it from New Mexico to there?
New Mexico?
Yeah.
Well, it's I think it's connected. I mean, don't worry, my geography's off as well.
I fucking have no clue. That's why I'd rather. I hope you have an answer.
But I'm nowhere near New Mexico. Like, I mean, as far as it being a state away, but we're talking about, we're on the southeastern end of the state. So
okay.
We'd be closer to like Oklahoma than we would New Mexico.
Okay, makes sense. Now I was only asking, dude, like, say if you do make that move, dude, I would definitely hope you find some cool, like, the so-called profound fucking UFO sighting spots. You know what I'm saying? Because it always happens like over there. You know what I'm saying? Because you always hear about like New Mexico and then Roswell, or is it Roswell, and then fucking all that other jazz. So it's like, well, speaking of that, I mean, so just because we're talking about like UFOs and all that shit, what do you think about that video of the Bob Lazar, the Corvette that he had running off of fucking, what's it, nitrogen? Was it nitrogen they had to run off of? Hydrogen.
No, hydrogen, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I think it's beautiful. I mean, it's free energy, and and the guy that the U.S. government has tried to shut up and shut off and cut off, is showing all of us it's free. Like Nikola Tesla worked on the same thing. Like, hey, this is free stuff. So the free energy is out there. It's just that we, as a society, have to recognize that we are stronger on ourselves. And that was supposed to be the American dream anyway. The problem is you let, and I mean, I don't know if you can blame it on capitalism, so to speak, or just greed overall. But like, these people, here's the thing. They'll come up, they'll say, hey, free energy. We can get the energy from the sun, from the water, from whatever, and then they'll come up with this prototype and this invention. They'll get it copyrighted. Then somebody from a large corporate firm will come in and buy that copyright and then just hide it. And they will hide it, and then like oil companies do it, electric companies will do it, and they'll do it because they want to protect their own investments. Because for them, if it's free money, then that means, guess what? If you're an electric company, you're an oil company, you're going out of business, or you're going to lose 90% of your sales. Of course, with oil, everything is made with oil: lotions, tires, everything, plastics, all that stuff. So we're always going to need oil, but are we going to need the oil that they are making right now with cars and with all this, when you can get something that's free?
Yeah. So just to give a good, just a description of what we're referring to, of course, I came across a video of Bob Lazar, which is crazy. I never seen this video before. For one, it was new to me. I've never seen it. So someone actually got a hold of it. And what this video is, and I'll have to plug it up on our, in the link in our YouTube, when we drop this episode out, so people can take a look and see what they think, and just let us know what you think about this, right? But Bob Lazar, pretty much, we've talked about it before in a past previous episode. Go check that out if you haven't. But he's the one that supposedly, allegedly, we'll go allegedly, we like to use these fancy words, but protect our asses too, because we don't want to get sued.
Yeah, you don't want to get sued.
Yeah, we do not want to get sued. We haven't fucking, I'm just saying, we're not there yet to fucking handle some losses like that. We're not on that fucking Amber Heard / fucking Johnny Depp shit, which I'm happy
want you
that.
to talk about that,
Oh,
though.
we're going to talk about that, definitely.
Yeah.
Now that you remind me, yes. But Bob Lazar obviously was hired by this company to reverse engineer some alien tech that they recovered. Supposedly that's the story, right? But fast forward, obviously he's been out. He's talked to Joe Rogan about it and just holds true to the story. And so far, I mean, nobody's really been able to prove him that he's full of shit or he's lying. I mean, so far everything's lining up to where he's probably saying
there's more to prove him right than wrong.
Exactly. But this video,
Element 115, his name in the books, they tried. Yeah. So
and being a smart motherfucker, and in this video he talks about how he has a fucking what was that element again that we're talking about? Fuck, I'm horrible with remember names. No, 115. No, the Corvette that was ran off of
hydrogen.
A Corvette that he made, prototyped. He actually made the materials himself, because he even quote said, and what you're referring to, you can't buy these chemicals or these elements. Like, you can't just buy them outright, because he's like, if that were the case, people would be able to make this in their fucking garage and you guys would have free energy. So he actually had to make everything himself to what he put together, a Corvette, and he has this thing running and explaining how he made it and how everything works per detail. And I'm just over here watching this, and I had to send it to my boy, because I'm like, this is insane. This motherfucker is super smart. So for them to think like, oh, we need to get this guy on our team because he can reverse engineer this shit, and we need to have this technology like ASAP, because we want to utilize this to every extent we can possibly, ASAP, right? So
have you seen the gas prices lately?
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's insane to think like, they're fucking gouging us for our fucking gas prices going up to like almost $6 a gallon. And here he is saying that this could be available. What is crazy, the last line that he said in this video, right? Quote, if they had the budget to throw what they threw into the Iraq war into something like this, everybody in the United States would have free energy.
Right.
What does that say? What does that fucking say? Conspiracy? I think not. Tinfoil hats on. But what I'm saying is, like, it's crazy that he himself is like, if people could do this, it's like, I know people could do this. You wouldn't have to rely on fucking gas or anything.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you'd have, and so the thing is that's what it is. It's just, it's all about control and the direction that they're going, right? They're talking about, like in 2030 that our smartphones, that they won't even exist anymore.
Oh yeah, dude.
In our bodies.
Oh, fucking crazy.
They'll have all the information. That means that we're in a cashless society. So if they, that's the direction they're going. And we have enough people in this world, like countries that are saying we don't want any part of this. Like you guys can do all that because we have seen history books. We know what the Nazis do when they have full control, and we don't want to give you the same power that the Nazis wanted. And so we're not gonna go down that road. And so and people absolute, what do they say? Absolute power leads to absolute corruption or something. And it's because there is something hardwired into man that does something that corrupts them. Like when they have all the power and they know that just with a snap of the finger, like look at Justin Trudeau. He's been really proving, like there's this conspiracy theory that, and I read it, and they were going really into these facts that like he could be Fidel Castro's son.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. And
Whoa!
They were talking about the timelines, and they were like, yeah, there was like this island that they all met on, and so then one of the island trips was on paper because Justin Trudeau's father was a prime minister as well, and so the father, but the father, Justin Trudeau's, who he calls his father, was at this time in the 70s, like he was too old to spit any more children out, right? So the wife was younger and she was really attracted to Fidel Castro, and so they're saying that one of those trips, the island with Cuba, it was logged as a state meeting, but then what they did, it was the honeymoon of the Trudeau dad and mom, and so then they island hopped. They went onto this other island, and they said that so did Fidel Castro.
Oh,
so
dude, he was smoking out Justin Trudeau's mom.
Yeah, because that's what he was letting her do. Like he's like, hey, you're young. I know I can't keep up. They didn't have the blue pill back then.
Oh,
so
dude,
he was just letting the Trudeau mom just kind of be loved widely.
Loved widely. Oh, dude, she was she was handling a Cuban cigar, right? For sure,
yeah,
bro.
And so
holy
like
fuck.
when Fidel Castro died, Justin Trudeau was like the only Western leader to go there. Not only go there, but like have like praise to share about him. So anyway, so then now he has this new gun ban freeze, or
I saw that.
Freeze, handgun freeze in Canada, saying just because there were a few murders down south of the border, we've got to freeze all of our handguns, and so it gets messy.
It gets real messy, crazy. That is insane, though. That is insane that he actually did that. Like he took that type of action to say, "Fuck it, we're just freezing the sale of guns." That's that. And
yeah,
fuck.
I mean, makes no sense because you're just not seeing that in Canada. And so the question begs is what is the intent? Are you like, because there was this trucker convoy that was going through and creating all this havoc, and he's not taking his foot off the gas even a little bit with his COVID measures. It doesn't matter if it cripples his economy. And so the people are starting to rise up. Is he afraid of his own people to the point where now he's like taking the guns away from them? And he really, like, they haven't gone as far as like Australia did in 1996, where they like did what they call a gun buyback, which is a false term, because a buyback is when, hey, we bought this and, in the first place, and then you bought it from us, and then now we're going to buy it back. A buyback would be like if the gun manufacturer, the place where I bought my gun, was doing a buyback, not a government.
Yeah. So okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
That's more of like a gun confiscation. And so that's what Australia did, and in 96. And so I can just see Justin Trudeau just really trying to work with his cabinet, figuring out how they can do that next. I think that's definitely coming next. But the beauty about America is that we, the people, are protected to protect ourselves. And, and I'm sorry, people hate hearing this, but AR-15s protect us against tyrants.
There you go.
And that's why we have them. That's, we're not buying AR-15s to go hunting for deers. Some people do. They hunt with them, and they'll hunt like in Texas. They take the helicopters, they take the AR-15s, and just start going ham on the wild boars.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's crazy.
So they do. They are used in sports and recreation, but the reality is they are meant to protect us from tyrants. If people within our government stand against the people, how do you stand against the people? It's when you go against their wishes.
Yeah.
Right? We have votes, we have elections, and if you're still going against what we voted, that's when you become a tyrant. And
there you go.
You got millions of Americans sitting on the sidelines just waiting for this to get dicey.
Yeah. Dicey. This is a keyword, man. Yeah, I know. I agree, bro. I mean, we need it. I want to protect my family as much as you want to protect your family, as the next person down the line wants to protect their family. Dude, that's just how I look at it. It should be equal for, it is equal for everybody. Just look at it from that perspective. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, these things happen, but I think it's behind the person that actually did this type of shit, where we're talking about, the school shootings. That's something that happens in the line of what the individual was going through that led them to be, in that position to do that shit. So, I mean, yeah. Well, how does that saying go? Heard it before. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Yeah.
Right.
Mental illness kills people.
There you go.
Fatherless homes kill people. Riddling your child with medicine kills people. Not having any watch over your children and who they're hanging out with and who they're talking to and what type of influences they have in their life kills people.
Yeah. All
of that. And so all it takes, and the thing is they know it. The gun grabbers know it. Is once you take the guns away, guess what? Those same people are. We saw it at, was it a Christmas massacre over in the East Coast somewhere? Some crazy guy just got in and wanted to kill a bunch of people, so hops in an SUV and just mauls as many people as he can.
Yeah.
Over a Christmas parade. So you think that this is going to end by taking all of our guns away? No. What's going to happen is the criminals are going to start feel more emboldened, and they're going to start then we're all at danger now, because at least me, anyone that wants to come to my house, they know they got something waiting for them. But if all of my guns are confiscated, now it's like a free-for-all. What am I going to do? Kung fu fight my way through it? Am I going to negotiate through it? No. Cops aren't going to do it. If you got now, and then the other thing about Uvalde is now it proves that gun owners really need to have these rights, because even the police aren't going to protect you.
Yeah.
Even the police aren't going to protect you. And I love police, right? But police can still they're still taking orders from someone who could be really wrong and make some really shitty decisions.
That's facts, man. That is facts. That's straight up. I mean, more of the story, it's like, we definitely want to use them right at the correct way in the right situations, right? Like, you almost want to, like, for me, I always think to myself, I never would want to use my gun, if something like were to happen. But if someone's coming into my property trying to fuck it, or is a threat to me or my family, dude, no questions asked. I'm at that point, you know what I'm saying? But obviously everybody does have that right to do that themselves. It's just to protect yourself, protect your family, protect your loved ones. Just, from all the bullshit that's happening. It's just like a mixture of fucking gas and fire at this point. And we've been seeing it. It's been happening. Yeah. So you want to protect yourselves. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Right.
But it's fucking, that's just how we look at it.
Yeah, no, but just before our time is up, I want us to go into the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp case, because that's something. Now, I got to be honest, I did not. That was one thing I did not pay any attention to, because
I didn't realize much. Yeah.
As soon as I knew that homegirl shit in the bed, I was like, I'm done. I can't listen to this anymore. But from the reports, I guess the media was really like going hard on Johnny Depp. Like,
dude, of course,
was this really bad guy, and we have to believe all women. And then all of a sudden, like, you found out that Amber Heard, well, for one, they ruled against her. Like, she was ordered to pay $15 million in.
I think it was like around. I want to say it was like 12 or something like that, or 10 or something like that, but it was a high number. It was up there. It was a couple mil. They threw her 2 million, just as like, I think I almost like my wife said. I think it was almost like a sympathetic type shit where they're gonna give her $2 million, but they're gonna give Johnny Depp a couple millions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's what to me, like when I was talking about it with my wife, if you want to check that episode out, we did cover a little bit about it. We just gave like a kind of like a brief summary of what happened, how it started, who's suing who from how much money, all that shit. Go check it out. It's Heard is the Word. That's up on all major streaming platforms, and it's on video as well. But go check it out if you want to get filled in.
Shout out to Monica. She came in with the heat,
dude. Yeah, she came in ready for that. I mean, she was prepared. She wanted to do it. So she was kind of nervous because it was her first time doing it. But I mean, I think it went well. I think it went very well for our first episode. And she actually asked if we would want to do like a kind of like a, what is it, like a part 2 on how it ended and just kind of like, you know, what happened and all that for people that don't understand, like kind of like who won pretty much and who lost and how much money.
We should have had her on this one because I don't want to wait too much more time, but she as the listeners, I mean, that was like one of our highest rated
I saw that,
episodes. I'm like, wow, you know, so that was you and Monica. You guys did a phenomenal job.
Thanks, man.
Yes, definitely. We gotta get Monica on for like to sort of, you know, cover all this
for sure.
You know, talk about where we're at now.
For sure, but it's I honestly,
who is she going for?
Dude, Johnny Depp. Same with me, Johnny Depp. I honestly think everything was pointing to where, you know, homegirl didn't really, like, a lot of the shit she was saying wasn't really coming out to be factual. Just like a bunch of bogus like acting from her end with when she's talking about certain things. I mean, even with me not even paying attention fully to the whole fucking trial, I could just tell like something's not adding up here. Like there's just, to me, seems like it's like a quick money grab scheme to me. Again, this is just my perspective. Again, all the evidence, all that stuff, I didn't really hear it out fully to its full extent. But again, my wife's been fucking eyeing it since the fucking first day of the trial up until now. So I take her word for it. And she was listening. She's like, no, Amber's just full of shit. And just to come to think that, you know, it's crazy to me to think that like the one out of the, like, you know, obviously when it comes to celebrities, you know, there's some they just kind of stick to their own and they just kind of lay low and they just, you know, they live their lives and they just, you know, when they gotta go do their job, which of course they're acting, they go handle their business. But for Johnny Depp, it's like he's more of a low key type dude. It's like when I heard about him just getting sued for X amount of dollars and it's just like him being put on the fucking spot, I'm like, what, really? I was like, what the fuck? And you know, to see him, you know, win and him just being thankful for, you know, his fans thinking by him and him actually getting some movie deals. Now he's going to be in Beetlejuice 2 and he's actually going to go back to being Jack Sparrow and Pirates of the Caribbean 6. Wow. So he's going to go back to work and they're going to pay him a hefty amount, I'm sure. So he's going to be back on the fucking screen because, I mean, he's a phenomenal actor. He's probably one of my favorite actors, I think, you know, from all the movies like Blow, Pirates of the Caribbean, what's that one movie where he's like that fucking mafia dude, which he killed the role. He's like, it was based on a story. What was that movie? Black Mask.
Oh, I don't know. I was.
Oh, dude, it was fucking good. You check that one out. It's called Black Mask.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
What do you think when he did what was that remake that they did, Willy Wonka? What did you think about him and Willy Wonka?
I haven't seen it, but I heard he did a good job on it. I don't know though. What you tell me? What do you think about it?
I preferred the old one. When it first came out though, like I could not watch it, and it was just because I loved the original so much, and I just was not ready for a Johnny Depp version. Of Willy Wonka, but then I watched it like I want to say earlier this year. Actually, it was on Netflix, and I caught it. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I was hating on the man at the time, you know, because this isn't actually that bad.
Yeah. No, I heard he killed the role. I mean, he did a good job. I mean, like I said, I think anything he does for the most part, he does a pretty good job. I'm very curious to see who's gonna play Beetlejuice because he's gonna have to follow up with Michael Keaton, who played the original Beetlejuice, right? So I'm curious to see how that's gonna pan out. But overall, I'm glad that he won. I mean, fuck. I think he deserves it because I think he was just telling the truth the whole time. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's good, man. And that's a win for men. You know, just being a couple of dudes with a couple of, you know, things hanging. It's nice to finally get some dubs our way.
Dude, I know. We need to make a hashtag for him too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this one's for you, Johnny.
Johnny, this is for you too. I'm going good boy today. I'm drinking water. But yeah, dude.
I have really stayed away from the alcohol.
Yeah.
It was
You
way
got
too
the
much
shakes,
booze
bro.
for this guy.
I know, dude. You got the shakes now. I feel like you probably sweat a little bit. Like fuck, you wish you were drinking a cold one or maybe something on the rocks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was like it just like it felt like I was killing myself because like I came home and I'm just like, everything was just like dull, right?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
just like, what's going on right now? Like I was in a funk and everything, and then I just decided, okay, just like stay away from it, whatever. There was one day I ended up buying this one. It was like a Modelo, but it was like a limon, and they had put salt in it. Ugh,
Oh, okay. Here you're talking
it
about.
was the grossest, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, but if they would have had just the lime in it, I would have been able to take it down. But I bought a tall boy. I got like maybe five solid drinks in, and I was just like, I can't do this.
I can't do the some of the mixed ones. Yeah, so some of the ones that they do, like there's one like the one with the clamato juice and all this other stuff. I can't really do those. There's only specific ones that I like. I did like the Modelo with pineapple. That one was actually not bad. Pineapple and the little tahini sauce, dude. I fuck with that. I'm not gonna lie. Like cold, straight out the fridge, I'll do with that. But I'm really picky. But Modelo by itself, I can enjoy one, a cold one from Modelo. But yeah, man, it's so you're making up for lost time. I feel like while you were over there, just fucking enjoying life and just chilling.
It was just the fact of as just like when I went down there, I just fell in love with the area, and I don't know. It was just like we'd have a couple of strong drinks, and I don't drink strong drinks.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of beers because I know my limit.
Yeah.
But 2 hard drinks in, and there is no such thing as a limit. All of a sudden it's just like one big
it's a blur.
yeah. And you're just like, holy smokes, no, that I can't do this, because then once you like sort of unplug, but it's good. Like I said, I tried that one time like earlier this week.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't even do it. And so yeah, so it's just been lots of water, lots of energy drinks though.
Still to the caffeine,
Oh yeah, gotta come correct.
Yeah, no, it's all good, bro. It's all good. You got to fucking pound through the days because you tell me you're like, oh, I'm already running on 4 hours of sleep. Like, dude, how the fuck do you function? Like, I don't get that. I'd be fucking falling asleep, bro. I'm sorry. If I only get like 3 hours of sleep, I'll be miserable, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I realize that.
You gotta stick it straight to the IVs,
pull that
dude.
Off, no problem.
Dude, I know. That's funny though. But yeah, brother. I mean, I'm glad to have you back, man. I missed you, of course. And
yes.
We're back on the fucking on the saddle on the fucking horse here with the podcast, and of course, and it's we want to apologize for actually missing an episode. This will come out this Friday, but last Friday, Memorial Day weekends, had me all in the fucking days, and of course, my boy, he had to change the plan, so there's just kind of like it was more on me. I think I'll take the fucking blame on this to find some time to do an episode because shit was just fucking Memorial Day weekend was just crazy. And of course, your boy's truly, I'm 33 years old. My birthday was actually Memorial Day weekend, so I was doing some things with the family, and of course that just kind of got in the way of it too. So I didn't want to show up on the podcast fucking hammered, what I'm saying? So I would be slurring my words.
Happy birthday! I didn't even know.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, 33, bro. I mean, you can tell by the fucking grays. I don't know if you can see it from the lighting, but yeah, the grays are coming in strong in my beard. So I'm gonna take that as like a fucking badge of being closer to being an old man. So, but yeah, it was good, man. I'm thankful here to be here another year, and it's good to be just pushing through and living life, bro. That's how it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is,
the
brother.
Name of the game.
Yeah, so we'll close this one out, and of course, as always, go check out our all past previous episodes if you haven't. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn FM Radio, all that jazz. But make it easier for yourself. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, go do that, where you'll see the clips for all our up and coming episodes and everything to do with the Two Touch Podcast. You will find there, and you will also find a direct link in our bio, which will make it easy for you to take you wherever we're available. So go do that. Go follow us on Instagram. But till then, we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. We love you. Till then, peace.